Okay, so as we're laying down, take a few good breaths. It's so refreshing to feel this oxygen flowing into our lungs. So part of the idea that I have for today comes from, I was a dance minor in college, and so that minor, there were different classes that we would have to take, and there's this one class on log-on notation. So this was this old-fashioned notation that's kind of, it's not so much needed nowadays now that we have videos. But once upon a time, people used to have to notate their dance classes. And in this log-on notation, you would imagine a person inside of a cube, and then based on where the different limbs were going inside of the cube, that would be how you would kind of notate the dance form. And so what that image was in my mind as I was thinking of our class today. And I was thinking about how we're getting into this new year, we're establishing new visions and new goals for ourselves. So sometimes we don't even think about it, but we put ourselves into this cube, into this box, and we kind of don't think outside the box. We kind of think of, what I can envision the possibility rather than just kind of reaching for the craziest thing you could possibly imagine. So today in our class, to kind of help prepare us for this new year, we're going to be envisioning different poses that help us reach really far outside of the box. So there will be funky little twists and stretches and different types of movements that we'll take, and kind of let that idea rest in the back of your mind as we're moving through class through all sorts of stretching and weird fun angles as if we're trying to get outside of our box. Just imagine, how can I get outside of the box with my vision for the next year, with my goals, with my dreams for my life? And how can I, rather than thinking of, this is what I've always thought that would happen, this is what's logical, get out of that part of our brain into the completely crazy, just what can you possibly even envision and imagine, even if it doesn't actually happen? What could you envision? Think of maybe 200 years ago, people back then could not even possibly have envisioned how life is for us now. And so that's the kind of crazy that we're trying to bring to the forefront of our mind. And so with that idea to get us started, the first thing we'll do actually is contract ourselves. So we'll come all the way, knees into the chest, curl into the tightest ball possible, and maybe you're doing little movements for the hips or the back, kind of easing into some of the tight spots. Good. And then curling the forehead in toward the knees, we're an even smaller ball. Try to tighten yourself up as much as possible. And then from here, starting to warm up our core, we stretch the arms toward the back, the legs toward the front, and then circle right back into that tiny little ball. Let this be a nice stretch, like one of those stretches when you're waking up first thing in the morning. Let your lungs even become really stretched out, full of oxygen. Deep stretch in and exhale, curling it out. Let's take 2 more rounds. Good. Last deep exhale. And then from here, allow the left foot or the left leg to drop down to the ground. Right leg gets to stretch up in the sky. So you can be free with this. Maybe you're focusing on the ankle. Maybe you're focusing on the hamstring and really pulling the leg in tight. So find that spot that needs to be stretched out of the box in this forward direction. And kind of expand that leg to that placement. From here, sliding the right hand up as high as you can reach on this right foot. Start to open the right leg out to the right, but we're making sure left hip doesn't have to tilt with us. So only the extent that we can possibly do without that lift. I like to do that reach up as high as possible because that helps me to pull inward toward the deepest possible range that this leg can be brought into. Oh yeah. This is the spot. Good. So let this leg start to lift up above our body. And this left hand will take over the side of the calf. We're tilting the leg about halfway toward that left side. So this eases into some new spots on the IT band, on the hip. Taking a nice inhale. And exhale, we'll continue to settle into the twist. This can be a straight leg or a bent knee. This is your preference. It's what'll work for your spine here. Nice inhale. Exhale, let this right hip begin to return back to the ground. And as we start to release right leg down, take the left leg in and stretch up. This can be that ankle area, or it can be that extension upward as much as physically possible. Good. Left hand slides up, reaching as high as possible. When you have that grip on the foot or the ankle, start to open this left leg out to the left. Right hip doesn't lift at all. Feel that solidness of the base. Good. Leg comes up, tilt it halfway over to the right. That nice IT band, outside hip stretch. Good. Then straight leg or bent knee, continue to send it into that full twist all the way over. Left hip returns down, slide the left leg long. Take the right knee in. We're taking half happy baby pose. Grab the outside edge of right foot, the knee goes wide. Help to pull it down. Again, the hip does not lift off the ground on that left side. So from here, this right side will stay exactly as it is. At the same time, this left elbow and the left knee come to touch right above our body. And then stretch that left arm and leg away from one another. This is another one of those stretches like we're waking up first thing. And let's do 4 more just like that. Exhale, curling in and stretch. 3. And 2. Good. Last one. Stretch it out long for just a moment. And then take that left knee in so we can take the half baby on that side. Release the right leg long. It's resting on the ground again. And so back here, we're at that half happy baby. Pause for a moment before we move on. Okay, if you're ready, right arm and leg contract. We touch together above us and stretch. Going for 4. 3. 2. And 1. Beautiful. From here, let's allow ourselves to release the legs. So legs are long on the ground, arms are stretching up overhead. We take the banana shape, so right ankle over left. And then the legs scoot off that left side. Grabbing right wrist up above head, scoot the shoulders off that left side, banana to the left. And notice the quality. Are you passive, just relaxing into this opening? That's beautiful. Or are you actively pushing against the connection points? Anywhere on the spectrum is great. This is us exploring with our body what would help us to kind of reach outside of our box. Another good breath in. And exhale, we'll start to release. Banana to the second side. This will be left ankle over, legs off the right. Then up above head, grab left wrist, arms to the right. Same quality as before, passive or active. Be conscious about that choice. And as we release, we're back on to the middle of the mat with the spine. Full happy baby now. Both feet come in. This can absolutely be stillness. This could be motion. This could be whatever helps us feel like we're getting outside of our box. One more deep belly breath. Nice exhale. We'll start working our way up. That might look like rolling like a ball, or it might be just coming directly up, your choice. When eventually we're happy to be all the way up, today we're setting the bottoms of the feet together, and they're far away, about as far away as you can keep the toes still touching. So from that placement, let the spine start to round forward. Ease the muscles of the back, ease the muscles of the hips. More breaths just to settle deep into this space. And then when we arise, place the hands on the knees. We're going to round through the vertebrae to help start easing through that space. So round the spine back, jut the ribs to the right, continue to arch forward, ribs to the left and back, and then reverse that direction going to the left first. Get as exaggerated as possible. Good, take one more circle to each side. And when we finish that one, straighten back up, slide the feet about halfway between here and a full cobbler's pose, whatever that is to your body. A nice halfway point, and then relax forward. Feel things deepening through the spine, through the neck, through the hips. Starting to rise up, hands back to the knees. 2 more circles each direction, starting back, and then choose that first direction. Eventually reverse. One more to each. I like to kind of let my neck be doing the opposite of what my ribs are doing. Good. And then when we straighten up after that last one, slide the feet in about as tight as you can make them. Relax back forward one more time. Feel some of those muscle fibers being pulled even more. One more breath in. Exhale to rise. One more time, hands to the knees. Don't feel like this has to be as exaggerated as the first one. The movement might be smaller because otherwise we might tilt ourselves out of balance. But take that full 2 cycles left and right. Okay, when that one finishes, we're back up. Let's cross our ankles, come forward onto hands and knees. From here, right away into puppy pose. Keep the hips over the knees, walk the hands forward. Start to let the heart melt down as if there's a magnet in the heart pulling it to the earth. You can have forehead or chin down. You also have the option to touch hands together and then swing those hands behind the back of the head if you like that. Have the hands lifted, drop them to the earth, and then imagine somebody's pulling your hips all the way to your heels, shifting this into child's pose. Maybe knees slightly wider than we might normally go in child. If this feels good, start to walk the hands off the left edge of the mat. Long lateral lean. Off the second side. Back to the center for another breath or 2. And eventually rising up to hands and knees. Take a couple of moments, cat-cow. Helping to ease into the spine. It's like we're trying to break our spine out of that box into much more of a fluid nature. Good. Spine to stillness. We can either be sitting on our feet or up in a high kneeling position for a moment as we let our arms do some pinwheels. So with an inhale, we do circles. Exhale, touch your hands as close together as possible. Inhale, spiral the other way, and exhale, touch. Absolutely fine if there's not actual physical contact. Just imagine breaking outside of your boundaries, like you're Elastigirl or something, and you're imagining that it can touch. Mostly just warming up the shoulders. So the lung capacity expanding. Once more each direction. Releasing from there, plant the hands again, and then float the right arm clear up to the sky, starting to feel the back space pulling open. It's like if our arms could open more than 180 degrees, we're trying to open that far. Inhale, and exhale, thread this right shoulder all the way through to the floor. You get to choose what to do with the left hand, maybe stretching forward, maybe wrapping around the low back. Left hand slides in front of the face, press into it. When we're back up to neutral, take another moment with a cat and a cow, maybe 2 or 3 rounds. And when you're ready, spine to neutral, left hand lifts. Continue to try to open the back space as much as possible. And thread that arm under and through. Your choice, what to do with that right hand. One more nice inhale. And exhale, right hand in front of the face. When they come up to hands and knees this time, give your spine even more freedom. Maybe your rib cage is doing some circles. Maybe you're wagging your tail. Literally trying to kind of remove any snap, crackles, and pops. We're moving the spine to all directions. It's like we're freeing ourselves maybe from the corset we perhaps live with our normal life, barely moving the ribs at all. Good, and when the spine starts to feel really happy, you're welcome to work your way up toward a nice downward facing dog. Feel the legs stretching long. Good. One more deep breath in and out. And back down to the knees, nice and gentle. From here, this right knee will start to float open to the right, like we're a dog at a fire hydrant. You can either hold here, or if you have the strength for this, you kick that right leg out to the side and then bend. Going for another 4, 3, 2, 1. And then swing that leg toward the back of the mat. We're swiveling open into a kneeling half moon. So I like to stick the kneeling foot off the side of the mat. That helps me balance. Try to lift that leg as much as possible. Lift the top arm as if you're growing taller by another centimeter. One more nice inhale. Exhale, hand and knee can lower. Maybe a cat or cow or other wiggles for the ribs. Good. And then switching sides, the left knee starts to lift. If you feel good with the strength, start to kick that knee out, straightening the leg, and bend. One more, yeah. So here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then smoothly slide back. Now trying to go to that kneeling half moon. So the lift, the reach, growing. Inhale and exhale, starting to lower. Another moment, either child pose or downward facing dog. So this will be one of those moments where you stay as long as it's still feeling helpful. Eventually, at some point, making our way up to the top of the mat for a forward fold, but no rush to get there necessarily. Take one more beautiful breath in, out. Inhale to rise. You can either sweep up or just round your way, rolling up. Maybe up above, take a huge stretch. Good, hands to the heart. We're stepping this right leg back, but then we're also crossing it off the left edge of the mat. So our knees are doing whatever we need to do to keep them safe and happy. Up above us, let's circle the arms up, grab the right wrist, and then pull that right wrist to the left like that banana shape. Beautiful, releasing the arms. And then see if you can let this right knee float up in front of us. Hands can join at the heart. Good, good work. And then right foot down. Left leg slides back and crosses off to the right. Once we're there, the arms sweep up. Grab that left wrist, lean to the right. Breaking outside of huge boxes here. Good, the arms release. And then when you feel your balance, try to see if that left knee can gently float, hands to heart. Good, and we're down, we made it. Let's go ahead and heel toe the feet about as wide as the mat, and then just roll the head all the way down, forward fold. Bring the toes outward, 45-degree angle. Let's try out the yogic squat today. If you need to be higher up in a squat, that's fine. Imagine with each breath, we're using that inhale to find length in the spine. And exhale, it's like we're trying to push the hips just a little bit wider. More nice inhale. Exhale, dropping the fingers, straighten the legs, turn the toes forward. From here, this right foot will step all the way to the back of the mat. We lower the right knee gently down like a lizard pose. We can stay on our wrists. We could lower right elbow or maybe both elbows. It's up to your body. And the next shape can happen from elbows or from hands. So if you want to watch maybe first, and you can explore with what works for you. We'll start to turn those left toes out to the left. We leave the right hand or the right elbow down. We start to lower the right hip down. And then this left arm either stretches to that space behind us, or it can continue to spiral all the way to the floor behind us. So whatever spot works, it will be easier if you're on the elbow to spiral open. So your choice. Good. Take your time unwinding. Bring the hands down. Eventually pressing up, lifting the back knee up. And slide that right foot to the outside of right hand. Going back down, yogic squat. Perhaps feel that pulsing again. That inhale length. Exhale hips widening. And lowering fingers, straighten the legs, turn the toes forward. Left foot slides all the way to the back. Lower that back knee down. Maybe we're on wrists, maybe we're on one or both elbows. Okay, this is aiming for that funky twist. Maybe you stay on that left elbow, or maybe you go up to the hand to make it deeper. Either way, left hip tries to lower closer to the ground. Then that right arm can start to reach, or maybe even spiral all the way to touch the floor. We're inviting that spine into a whole new boxes, new ways of living. One more inhale. And exhale, take your time unwinding. Eventually we lift up the back knee one more time with that yogic squat. You can either stay here in the center with this one, or you can aim for a twist. The right hand aiming for the floor, left hand reaching up to the sky, or even setting up a bind. If you're doing the bind, it's easiest if the shoulder is really close to the inside of the knee. Good. Open, and then return through the center. Second side, left hand down, right hand up. You can always stay, or you can do the bind. And open. Return through the center. One more breath in. Exhale, lower the fingers, straighten the legs, turn the toes forward. One more breath in. Exhale. Inhale to rise. You can round up slowly or sweep all the way up. Hands down toward the heart. Let's heel toe our feet in right underneath our hips. You've got two options to balance with here. It'll be the right leg going forward, so you can either grab onto the thigh and help yourself muscularly straighten it, or right hand to the foot and try to allow that leg to extend out in front. Your choice, right hand, right foot. I'm gonna try to keep the posture lifting as much as possible. I know it's hard. Even the balance is just the hardest part. Good, one more breath in. Exhale, slow release, sweeping through warrior three, maybe airplane arms. And gentle land, warrior one, arms rise to the sky. Here we'll take a spiral away from the way that you would normally want to open. So this is gonna be right hand to top of mat, left hand behind you. So this is towards back door. Good. And then rising back up, inhale. Exhale now, normal open warrior two. Good. Extended side angle, that left elbow to thigh or left fingers to the floor. This top arm today is going to do some circles like it's the arm of a clock. So choose one direction and do 3 large circles. And then after those 3, switch directions, helping to free out that shoulder of all limiting possibilities. Only after that, find that normal extended side angle until it reach. Good. Maybe a little bit of momentum to rise up for your 2. Feel the heart rate rising, a little bit of quickening going on. And then turn the toes to this long edge of the mat. We'll bend forward, wide angle, forward fold. You choose that arm placement, maybe on the floor, maybe on the legs. Choose your favorite. Slowly let ourselves rise up, so let the knees bend. Maybe hands up to the hips and then just roll our way easily up. Once we're safely up, you can either heel toe the feet together or jump together. Let's come right back up to the top of the mat, second side. Maybe kind of wiggle any tension out, feel the feet starting to ground into the earth. When you're ready for left leg to extend, you're either grabbing onto the thigh or grabbing onto the foot, trying for that extension. The other arm can be a good balance beam arm, kind of helping wherever the balance angle is. Good. When you're ready, gentle release, warrior 3. Landing warrior 1, arms can sweep up. A funky twist, so left hand toward top of that, right hand toward back. Good, unwind, rising up, inhale, exhale, warrior 2. Good. Right elbow down or right fingers down. The other arm prepares for 3 circles to each direction, so don't feel any rush. Ease all the way into your shoulder, those 3 large times. Eventually reversing. Finding that extended side angle when you're ready. More inhale, exhale. Inhale, maybe a little momentum to rise. Good, turning the toes to this long edge. If you like the hand clasp behind for the shoulder stretch, maybe take that this time. If you prefer a different option for the forward fold, that's also fine. Give the hands lower to the floor. A few more breaths. And bending knees, hands to hips. Take your time easing the head back up. Blood pressure is really good, really normal. When we're safely up, either heel toe the feet or jump the feet together. Back up to the top. This is going to be half moon pose. Eventually the idea is aiming left hand to the ground for that half moon. You can either do the normal version, that extension of the arms and legs, or you can try to do it with right hand grabbing right foot and then trying to ease your way open to half moon. Either way, if you need to release, let yourself safely catch yourself. Good. If you make it here, keep the hip opening. Toes behind, a nice stretch, a nice expansion. One more breath in. Exhale, whatever you need to do to safely come out, go ahead and make your way up. Good. You need to shake and wiggle before a second side. Sometimes that helps to reset our brain so our brain's not in a tense focus spot. Okay, when you feel safe for second side, it's either right hand going down or maybe also hooking onto that left foot. Easily aiming our way there. You touch down, keep the hips opening. More inhale. And exhale, whatever you need to do to safely rise. Good work. Each circle, feel that stretch and arch back. And forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands plant. Step walker, jump back to plank or kneeling plank. Lower chaturanga. Back bend only as deep as your spine is very happy with. Maybe pause to wiggle out just a little bit. And child pose or down dog. Good. So from here, right leg will start to float up to the sky. Step that right foot in between hands. Gently lower the back knee down. Once we're here, walk your hands up onto the thigh, continuing to sink hips forward. And we're gonna aim for a twist. So this twist is hooking the left wrist or sliding down to the elbow for the prayer position twist. Nice inhale. Exhale. Ease your way out. Lift the arms up, maybe a slight back bend even. And when we drop our hands down, straighten the front leg, lowering the hands, a nice half split position. Maybe we try our hand at balancing with both hands to the outside of that right leg. Good. So this next thing, if you're confused at all, you can always watch first. Continuing toward this right long edge of the mat, so it'll turn us toward that front door. You gently bend the top knee, and we just kind of sit back until we're in Gomukhasana. So this will end up with this right knee on top of the left knee. Good. From this nice tall posture, bring your right hand to the base of the neck. The left hand can either just help working with the elbow, or the left hand can come from underneath, doing the full spine. So whatever seems helpful for your arms and your shoulders today. You've been grabbing onto shirt, do the best that you can, whatever would help you out. Posture trying to lift tall. Nice inhale. Exhale, fingers release. Find the floor in front of your body and then just slide your hands forward. As we walk our hands back in, this front knee can stay bent. It's going to turn us into pigeon pose, facing back up at the top of the mat. So that right knee sweeps out in front, that back knee straightens out behind. And we end up in that pigeon pose, right knee forward. Feel free to go down to sleeping. Start to head gently out. It's whatever recovery pose you like. This can be heading to just a kneeling pose like a cat-cow, or this could be heading all the way up to downward facing dog. Whatever helps you to ease and recover any of those tight spots that we found. Whatever way you'd like to get to that second side. If you're in the down dog, maybe lift left leg and step left foot in between hands. Back foot lowers down gently. We walk our hands up onto that thigh. Back knee is down. Good. And then we set up for the twist, either hooking right wrist or sliding to the elbow. Spiraling that spine open. When we ease our way out, sweep the arms up, maybe a huge inhale as we take a little back bend. And exhale, straighten the front leg, drop the hands down, half split. You bring both hands to the outside of that left leg if the balance is there. So let's pull the spine to fun new directions outside the box. From here, we continue to turn toward this left long edge of the mat. The top knee bends. We set our way back, and we end up with that left knee on top. Okay, so from here, and always know if you need to bump it down so that the knees are wider, that can be nice. But from here, it's the left hand that goes up. The right hand can either help or maybe try to go from underneath to connect the dots. With an easy release of the hands, find the floor, slide the hands forward. Good. Heading into that last pigeon pose. This one will be sliding that left leg up to the top of the mat again. Sweep the back leg back, long. Sleeping pigeon is beautiful. One last inhale. Exhale, you choose your recovery pose, be it kneeling, down dog, or even just a seated stretch. This is our last couple of minutes before Shavasana, so do any last movements and wiggles that your body would love to take until you eventually feel beautiful, well rested, absolutely ready for your Shavasana. No rush to get there, just when you're still no rush to be in Shavasana if you're still enjoying things that you're playing with. But eventually in Shavasana, take just a moment to visualize the first spark of an image that comes to your mind regarding reaching outside the box to amazing goals in this next year. When you've had a moment to see that picture, then just simply allow your breath to begin to flow, knowing that attracting that amazing future to us doesn't have to be a struggle. It can be as easy as breathing. It's already on its way. Begin to deepen inhales and exhales. Introducing little movements to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Eventually taking a nice fetal position off to one side. Maybe 2 or 3 more breaths until you feel ready to rise. We join our hands together in front of our heart. We scan through the body, feeling how good it is sometimes to stretch outside of the box, to reach in all sorts of new directions and new angles, learning new skills, getting everything there is to get out of life. And so with this inspiration to help stretch us toward amazing new angles in our beautiful future, and with this realization that our future is only as beautiful as we can possibly imagine it to be. The better we imagine it, the better the world is that we attract to ourselves. With all this to lead us forward to an amazing year, let's allow ourselves to wrap up the time we shared together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.